Eddie, I've been looking forward to this one. I know you do a lot of media. I know you've been probably pushed in terms of talking leading up to this, but I just want to take you back very slightly, because have you ever seen a fight be put together in a card of this depth, with this magnitude, such a quick period of time?
No, I mean, you know, firstly, obviously the headline fight, AJ, even that was put together 6 weeks notice. I mean, it's very unusual to take a fight 6 weeks out, but, you know, and the depth of the card, obviously, to have Deontay Wilder on the card. Listen, I love Dubois against Miller. I can't wait. And obviously our boys, Dimitri Bivol, Jai Opetaia. The card's probably got 5 fights too many, like in a normal world. But we're not in a normal world. You know, we're in kind of like a boxing fantasy world. You know, like Fantasy Manager.
Yeah.
It's like put your card together for a great night of boxing.
And
this is the kind of thing you do, but you can never do it because who can do it? You know, and it's just a unique event to round off the year and a very important night for a lot of big heavyweights.
I'll tell you what I'm going to enjoy most about this, the honesty that you're always going to give me. So I want to know from the truth, from Eddie Hearn himself, what's it been like working with Frank Warren and building this
Well,
card?
it's like, I haven't really had a lot to do with Frank. George, obviously,
hands-on.
You know, we've had a decent relationship over the last couple of years, and George had to kind of play the dad, you know, because actually it's quite remarkable when you think, been promoting for, I don't know, 11 or 12 years. I've never met Frank Warren.
It's crazy to
Right?
think that, right?
The rivalry, don't forget, the rivalry existed when I was 10, right? It was in my household, so it's always going to exist. And that's actually healthy for British boxing. You know, we want to be the best, he wants to be the best. And, you know, this was an opportunity for boxing, most importantly for our fighters, and also for our businesses. And, you know, although we're competitive, we're not idiots. And we would have been idiots if we messed this up. So George kind of brought me into the room and said, you know, I want to get you together with my dad and sort of tell you both, just stop it, you know. And that's what happened. He was in a changing room in Wembley, and George said, can you just come in for 2 minutes? Went in, and Frank was sort of, you know, sitting on the table, and I went over, shook his hand, and that's really what we said.
The magic happens.
You know, let's not mess this up, because we can carry on the rivalry, but right now, this is special over here, and life-changing opportunities for our fighters. So, you know, we've got to make sure that we're cordial for now, and a normal business will resume, you know, back in the UK, but hopefully now, like I said, a little bit more amicable, and hopefully we can continue to make fights for the good of not just British boxing, but obviously boxing in the Middle East as well.
I love that history was made on the essence of a handshake, which is the most important thing. Now, this is why I also love to know about you, incredible boxing fan. So you tell me, out of all of the fighters that's on there, 16 if I stand corrected, who needs this the most, this win?
I mean, AJ needs the win, Wilder needs the win. I mean, everyone needs the win, you know. I think, again, going back to like Dubois against Miller, you know, if Dubois loses to Jarrell Miller, where does he go? You may never see him again. You know, if Jarrell Miller wins, then all of a sudden, you know, he puts himself in line for a big shot. Lyndon Arthur, you know, a Brit, shot to try and beat a pound-for-pound great. Ellis Zorro, you know, like, really has very little business being in the ring with the Ring Magazine champion. But anything can happen.
Of course.
You know, so there's jeopardy in every fight, which is exciting. But obviously, I'm biased. The one that needs to win the most is Anthony Joshua.
I would love to have dived into it with you in terms of all of the fighters that you have, naturally, that you promote and you have the relationships with, and just obviously understanding your element and love for boxing overall. But my last question to you is, who's going to be the surprise package? When you look at it all and it's all said and done, and I come and shake your hand on Saturday evening and we all take a deep breath, what do you think you're going to go to me? Jaydee, that was a real surprise there.
I've got a funny feeling for Joseph Parker. You know, I think that I said something on the stream yesterday, which didn't go down very well. It's like, I don't really rate Deontay Wilder.
I'm glad you said
this
it,
is a guy, this is changing. So let me
Just
say
over
this
his shoulder.
quickly before he turns up. Yeah. So this guy, in my opinion, has never beaten an elite heavyweight. You know, someone earlier said Luis Ortiz. The guy is, you know, I mean, I think officially was 40, arguably 60. But, you know, at the same time, I don't see any victories in his resume that tells me this guy is an elite heavyweight. He's an elite puncher. And that's the danger with Deontay Wilder. But I think if Joseph Parker can get into the fight, as long as he doesn't stand still, keep moving, use your feints, listen to Andy Lee, you might find 6 rounds into that fight, Joseph Parker's doing very well. So, you know, that wouldn't be good news for Joshua against Wilder. But I like Joseph. But don't rule him out in the fight. To be honest with you, you know, the main event and the chief support, two dangerous fights for Joshua and for Deontay Wilder. And I hate it when everyone keeps talking about Joshua Wilder. We know what we want to do, but we've been here before. You know, a gentleman by the name of Andy Ruiz ruined the plans last time. Let's make sure we get the win on Saturday.
Day of Reckoning seems like it's the perfect title. And Eddie, I appreciate you for the time as well, man.
Cheers, thank you.
Top man.